And I want to teach you something. Nasta'een comes from the word aun. And aun means help. Nasta'een means we're going to seek Allah's help. Listen to how important this matter is. To the point where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, watch his attitude and the great importance he gave this matter to the companions. He one day comes to Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu. He holds him and he says to him, Ya Mu'adh, inni uhibbuka fillah. Mu'adh, I love you for the sake of Allah. He's preparing him for some huge advice. He says to him, فَلَا تَدَعَنَّ دُبُرَ كُلِّ صَلَاةٍ. Do not leave out after every obligatory prayer that you say, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Please, Mu'adh, always after every salat, make sure you say, Oh Allah, grant me the strength and the ability and the power that I remain in remembrance of you. Wa shukrik, and grant me the ability that I'll always remain grateful to you. Wa husni ibadatik. And oh Allah, grant me the ability, because on my own I can't do it. Grant me the ability that I remain in perfect worship of you. Allahu Akbar. You need the help of Allah. Wal ulama rahimahumullah differed in terms of when this dua is supposed to be said. Some say it's supposed to be said at the end of the salat, just before you make at-taslim. And some said you say it immediately after the prayer. No matter what the case, it is both correct. The main thing is you say it while acknowledging that, oh Allah, I could have never prayed this salat if you did not give me the help and the aid and support to do it. Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. My brothers and sisters in Islam, wallahi, worship, it requires spiritual strength, not physical strength. I give you an example. There could be an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old young man. The 80-year-old made wudu today for Fajr, prayed Salat al-Fajr on time, read Quran after as-Salat, fasted that day. Allahu Akbar, the entire day was worship. And our brother, the 20-year-old young man, full of muscles, didn't get up for Salat al-Fajr, no Quran, no fasting, no worship. But he's more stronger than him. I tell you, worship has nothing to do with physical energy and strength. Has nothing to do with it. Worship has everything to do with spiritual strength. And nothing, no one will be able to inject the heart with strength and ability to worship other than the maker of the heart, Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why you're in desperate need to ask Allah to allow you to continue to worship Him. Allahu Akbar. That's the idea. Worship is all about spiritual strength, not the physical strength. A person can build physical strength, pump into your body steroids and drugs and GH and what you like. Did that enable you to worship Allah? Did it change anything? It got you closer to Allah. It didn't do anything. You need strength of the heart. And there's no medicine that you can inject in the heart that will give you spiritual energy to continue to worship Allah. The only injection for the heart is وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ. To say, oh Allah, grant me the ability that I continuously worship you. So that's number one. Do not forget this dhikr and this dua. If you miss this dua, look at its importance after every obligatory prayer 5 times a day. If you miss it, Allahu A'lam what happens in your situation. But if you want that strength to pray the other prayer and the next, continue after every salat. Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Another dhikr that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us that injects energy and strength for the worship in the heart is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allahu Akbar. La hawl, meaning there is no way I can transfer from weakness to strength, and from despair to hope, and from whatever it is to strength. Wala quwwa, and there's no strength except through Allah Azza wa Jal. And you know what's interesting? When the adhan is called, we are supposed to repeat after the mu'adhin what he says. Except in one part of the adhan, we say something different. What's that part? Hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah. The mu'adhin is saying, come to salat, come to success. You don't say hayya ala salah, because then that will mean you're saying to him, come to salah. But he's calling you, come to salat. Rather, what do we say? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What do we say? Say it aloud. You know why? In context, this is what it means. The mu'adhin is saying to you, come to salat. You're told to say to him, la hawl. Then impossible. I can't come to salat. I can't transfer from this lazy state I'm in into strength to getting up to as-salat. And then you're saying to him, wala quwwah. I don't have any strength to come to as-salat. And then you say, illa billah. Except if Allah was to give me the strength. And that's why you say, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And just imagine this, that the mu'adhin makes adhan in the masjid, right? So this is someone sitting in the masjid, in the front row. He's already there. Before the adhan, he hears the adhan. And from the front row, he's saying, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allahu Akbar. Look, you're there. You've come early. You're definitely going to pray. Even then, sit and say, acknowledge your weakness, acknowledge your need for Allah, and say to that mu'adhin, I can't do it. I don't have any strength whatsoever to get up to as-salat, except if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was to give me permission to do so. Allahu Akbar. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, whenever the servant says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, Allah would say to him, Aslama abdi wastaslam. My slave has submitted, he's surrendered, he's given up. And that's what al-hawqala, which is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, means in terms of your relationship with Allah. It means you have submitted and surrendered.